Again, I apologize for not showing off Kirby, but the show must go on. We have other modes to show off, like for instance, Archive Mode. And Archive Mode, I mean, it may not be much, but at least it shows off some of the spoils that you won from the game. Or, at the very least, it shows off officers. Like for instance, in Officer Mode, which you can look up the profiles of most of the officers. That is as close to an encyclopedia as we're gonna get. You can even hear an intro, and trust me, the intros can be as hammy as they possibly be. And you can also look at their models, and you can also hear some of their voice clips. I gotta say, it is really nostalgic to hear some of the voices in this game again. Problem is, comparing them to the future games, they still seem overly hammy as usual. But I still like them. Anyway, there's also the warrior, the hero, the soldier, and just about every other troop you've ran into strategist, sorry. Just about every other troop you ran into in this game. They will show up here, or just beat the game, and all of that will be unlocked. Now, speaking of beating the game and things will be unlocked, or you pretty much get it from Dynasty Warriors 4 or Dynasty Warriors 4 Extreme Legends, the artwork. Simply put, all you have to do with this artwork is recruit an officer. I know you can recruit up to 20, and 10 of which are officers, but if you recruit the officers, and some of them either become Grand Strategists or Grand Generals, then their artwork will appear, and also them being rulers. And oops, I did not mean to do that. That is the opening! I'm not going to show that off again. Anyway, now we have the endings. Even though there are empty slots, because I didn't get the bad ending of this game, which is to wait out the 100 turns. And I didn't beat the game with certain officers, but at the very least you can customize your ending the way you see fit. You can actually have some of the most hilarious endings that you could possibly have. But bear in mind, so many officers have to, there's some officers that have to be in there, and there's some officers that can be in there. Sounds confusing, but I know. It is. Anyway, now we get to the weapons. The weapons you've already seen in action. The weapons you already know that they're going to be at level 11 by the end of the game. And now for the items. The items also will appear on display thanks to Dynasty Warriors 4 and Dynasty Warriors 4 Extreme Legends. But between the weapons and the items, you'll probably have all of them viewed by the time you finish Empire's mode. Now, let's go to Versus mode. With Versus mode, we have 4 modes: Vanquish, Pilfer, Melee, and Endurance. Now, you can set the time limit to, and the difficulty, and the player to most of these modes. But I will tell you this: Pilfer and Melee and Vanquish, it's all about who gets the most points, or in Pilfer's case, the most money. And Endurance is basically about how long you can last, or if you can outlast your opponent. Now, here's the deal. I'm going after Lu Bu, but only in Vanquish and Melee there are certain power-ups. Power-ups that'll allow you to summon enemies, well, actually summon allies, to make your enemy's time a living hell, or they could do vice versa. The thing is, they have to, how should I put it, appear, or you have to kill a lot of officers for that to happen. And Lu Bu already jumped the gun and killed 20 officers, as well as kept me from announcing. That sucks. Most of the power-ups you pick up can really screw over your opponent. Now, they can either hinder your speed, they can either keep you from attacking, they can freeze you in place or do something horrible to you that, well, how should I put it? It would be terrible. Whatever the case, they can hinder your progress. And the more it hinders your progress, the more advantages you will have over your opponent. Problem is, Lu Bu is hindering my progress by summoning. That's right, if your opponent happens to summon before you, and you don't get your summon off, you'll have to wait till you destroy their summon in order to summon something onto your friend or enemy. Trust me, this game has ways of being frustrating in a multiplayer sort of field. But competitively, it's not that bad. And he made it to where I can't summon again, you son of a bitch! But if you build up points, you can build up enough points to summon a powerful officer to come in and deal with your enemy. The problem? If you happen to be blocked, or if you happen to be royally screwed over, you won't be able to summon like talking about it. Like again, he blocked my summoning. And in case you're wondering, yes, that's what that jagged sword means. I cannot summon until that sword is gone. And besides, I want to gather enough to send an officer a... Oh, you dick! I could have used that! I was trying to build up to send a powerful officer Lu Bu's way, but apparently that backfired tremendously. Now then, try to get some more points so I can send something nasty to Lu Bu's direction. Oh, and just in case you're wondering, in Gopher, Vanquish, and Melee, you do not have to worry about the death. Or the life meter, actually. You don't have to worry about dying. They'll just revive you, and you'll just come right back up. Now let's hopefully get an officer and I can send it his way, because Lu Bu can rip a Juggernaut to shreds. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Juggernauts are ineffective against Lu Bu. And mind you, one other thing, throughout the entirety of this battle, this guy and me all will have levels, max level weapons. So technically speaking, the weapon I have right now, I now have full 6 combo, and on top of that, I have the buffs that goes with it. Which is why Lu Bu is kicking my ass, because he has the buffs that goes with his ultimate weapon as well. I should have known better than to challenge Lu Bu. Okay, let's send Lu Bu over to his general direction. I was waiting for this. That would be really funny if I have Lu Bu to fight Lu Bu. Ha! He's been frozen. What? No! No! I summoned an officer! No! That is ridiculous! Yeah, you won today, Lu Bu. You won this time. Or maybe it's because of the fact that I was fighting Lu Bu. Ah, damn it. Anyway, That is basically versus mode in a nutshell. Well, Vanquish anyway. There's no reason to show off the other three because it's basically the same thing, except endurance you have to fight to survive. Now, let's go to the edit mode. And just like Dynasty Warriors 6 Empires, in this game you can actually change how your model looks. Well, not too much, because there are not as many options as Dynasty Warriors 6 Empires. You can change their name, you can change their skill, you can change their type, and you can change their voice and weapon after you created them. Which is how I even ended up with the Greatsword in the first place. There's 6 models. You have your hero, your warrior, your strategist, your Amazon, your princess, and your girl. And I mean, it's always funny to see the girl with a greatsword. But anyway, it doesn't matter who you pick. Well, actually, yes, it does, because who you pick also determines how your goals is going to come about in the game. Not only like what body type you pick, but also what strategy, what skill and what type. But the weapon, it doesn't really matter. But this is the first game. I was about to say the only, but I was mistaken. Anyway, this is the first game that allows you to create using generic weapons. And it's carried over here in Dynasty Warriors 4 Empires. Except the generic spear is sort of shared with Xiao Yun and Macho, and the generic sword it's shared with Sun Xuan, Sun Jian, Liu Bei and Cao Cao, sorry. So yeah, that's the best way you'll get that sword. But here are the skill types. I've already talked about not the skill types, I mean the regular types. The skills I've already talked about during playthroughs. But the regular types basically set the tone of whether or not you are going to be strong in battle and have little items, or weak in battle and have a lot of items. I mean, I had average to start off with. So with that said, let's exit out and finally go to the last option in select mode, options. Now, the game settings, you can change the help message to turn them off, and you can turn off, you can turn on English and Japanese. Well, you can't really turn them on, you can switch them. Anyway, the controls, it's best to leave them like they are, because if you change the bow controls to reverse, it's going to screw up the whole rotation, it'll feel awkward. You can change the button setup to where you like, in case you have a broken controller. And now the sounds, this is the only place you can change the sounds. Not during battle, but only here. And even then, it does not affect the Empires mode, unlike Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires. The screen adjust is basically just that. You have your safe load and your game previews, which is for Samurai Warriors 2 and for Crimson Sea. Samurai Warriors and Crimson Seas 2, sorry. Had to get that. They all came out in the same day. But anyway, that is the end of Dynasty Warriors 4 Empires. I mean, it sounded like I'm rambling on, but I really wasn't. My final thoughts for the game, I'm going to go back to play it again. Just so I can. But I will say this. It is one of the hardest games in the series. And I hope to one day get a PS3 and play Dynasty Warriors 7 Empires for the channel. One day. And oh my god, I wish they would get away from my door. Anyway, sorry about that. But, with the music, the gameplay, and the nostalgic feel, in fact, I might go back to playing this game yet again. This is RVMan985. See you guys next time, and I do have something for you guys on Thursday. Although it's only going to be a one video thing, it will be great. Hopefully. See you guys next time.